My calendar, it's very busy. I feel like I constantly switch gears.
So how do you keep sane?
So I'm currently doing two things. I work in the family business, which is a hardware store. It's based in Jordan. It's called Mega Hardware. And I also have my own shop. It's called Lily's Home. I co-founded with my sister. And also another thing, I graduated in 2004. And back then there was no social media. So I felt that I have a knowledge gap and that I need to fill. And this is what pushed me to pursue my executive MBA.
How do you work to keep this balance between your hat as a family business, your hat as an entrepreneur?
It's always busy. To be honest, striking this balance on a daily basis, it's not going to happen. So what I learned to do is to look at the week as a whole. So for example, on some days, it'll be 50% work, 30% study, and 20% family. But on other days, it could be, for example, if we have a barbecue, it'll be 80% family and then nothing else during the day. With time, you master the ability to switch gears. For me, I like to exactly know what I have ahead of time. I don't like surprises. And I always try to estimate the amount of effort and what's required to finish a certain task. For example, I manage my travel with my husband's travel, and of course, I incorporate my lectures, my residency sessions, and the school calendar. So I always have everything printed out ahead of time. I look at the week as a whole, and I don't take it one day at a time because I cannot.
How do you feel working with the family business, which is established, and then creating your own thing?
They're both in very, very different segments. They target completely different customers. It's a bit challenging sometimes. A lot of things overlap. But I'm also fortunate because I can also leverage on the previous base, and I can also leverage on a lot of aspects from the family business. And this has helped me.
Usually I ask one question on this topic. I'm going to ask you two because you have two roles. What advice would you give with someone starting either in a family business, and what advice would you give for someone starting their own venture?
With a family business, I would never recommend for anyone to join a family business straight after university. I would recommend that anyone would have a flavor of the corporate world, even if it was in a different industry, because you would not have that fresh perspective right after you gain your bachelor degree. And you need to be focused, but you also need to be open for change. And of course, never stop learning. I enjoy attending interviews. I remember the one with the co-founder of Mom's World. That was a very interesting interview.
Maximize your effort by being in front of as many customers as possible.
I always like attending workshops and perhaps also seeking advice or executive coaching.
You've been in the tribe for some time now, and we really believe in learning and constantly learning and looking at different perspectives, because this is how you can grow. What's the best advice you've received?
Not everything is within my control, and I cannot change everything. We're not magicians. We're just working moms. We're trying to do our best. We're trying to add value to our companies, to our families.
What inspires you?
My family, of course. On some level, I think we all try to impress our children, maybe later on.
Anything you do to unplug?
Binge watch, like Friends, any good TV show. Spending time with my daughter, maybe like making bracelets or just simple things, just to take your mind off.
I can relate to that. What hobby did you wish you had more time for?
I love writing. I actually used to write because I started off with research. This is something that I would like to keep and grow, but unfortunately I don't have the time.
What does happiness look like for you?
Of course, seeing my children happy, seeing my kids happy, establishing the sense of contentment with what I've achieved, also seeing my husband growing at his profession and all of these things.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lubna. This has been so insightful.
I admire what you're doing with empowering Triumph and with building a community.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, for all your insights, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Christine. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.